Yeah, it's sine of theta equals 3/5. And 0 is less than theta, which is less than pi over 2. And then A, B, and C, and D. So C is sine theta over 2. And D is cosine theta over 2.
Okay.
In like the half angle, this is the right formula.
Yeah. So remember our half angle formulas look like, I use alphas, but you can use thetas. Sine of theta over 2 should equal plus or minus the square root of 1 minus cos theta all divided by 2. And then cosine of theta over 2 should equal plus or minus the square root of 1 plus cos theta all over 2. So let me take you through these quickly. It'll be a good review of the formulas, if nothing else. In order to find, they're giving you, so this is number 7, 7.6. They're giving you a sine value. They're giving you sine of theta, which is 3/5, and they're giving you a quadrant. Which quadrant is this? This is the first quadrant, right? So sine is 3/5, theta is in quadrant 1, and they want you to find sine of theta over 2. The formula tells you to find sine of theta over 2, you actually need cosine of theta. Right? Because the formula has a cosine of theta. So how do you calculate cosine of theta, you think? Triangle, right? You got sine of theta, you got a quadrant, you draw yourself a nice triangle. So maybe our triangle over here. Since I'm in quadrant 1, I'll put theta right here. And I'll drop a nice right triangle. And we know sine, which is opposite over hypotenuse, should be 3/5. And then if we do the Pythagorean theorem, what's this last side? 4, right? 3, 4, 5 right triangle. So we can calculate quickly that cosine of theta is adjacent over hypotenuse, which is 4/5. So then sine of theta over 2 will be plus or minus the square root of 1 minus, but instead of cos theta, what should I put in? 4/5, all over 2. Now, we're going to want to simplify this, and I'll walk you through the simplification. But we also need to choose the plus or minus. Now, I'm going to give you a procedure that will help you choose the plus or minus no matter which quadrant you're in. Hopefully the plus or minus is kind of obvious in this case, right? Because you're in quadrant 1. So if theta is in quadrant 1, if you take half of that, you're still in quadrant 1. But in general, sort of like in the case that we have in the next example, you're going to want to be able to analyze this from the original inequality here. And so if you take this inequality and you write it out, this gives you conditions on theta. But we want conditions on theta over 2. We would like to know where theta over 2 is. So kind of the standard procedure to figure out the quadrant of theta over 2 is to divide everything by 2. Right, if you take that inequality and you divide all the sides by 2, that will give you a condition or an inequality for theta over 2. What's it tell you? What's 0 over 2? 0. Theta over 2, you just leave. That's your half angle. What's pi over 2 over 2? Pi over 4, because you convert it to 2 over 1, and then flip and multiply. So you see from this simple algebra here, by dividing everything by 2, theta over 2 has to be between 0 and pi over 4, so it's still in quadrant 1. Which means, because theta over 2 is in quadrant 1, sine should be positive. So we're going to select a positive root, because everything's positive in quadrant. Now we actually have to do the algebra simplification here. So then I have to take 1 minus 4/5 on top. How am I going to do that? Yeah, you need to change this 1 into 5/5. So 5/5 minus 4/5 is 1/5 divided by 2. Think of that as 2 over 1. Flip and multiply. As 1 over 2 comes up and it becomes 1 over 10, I'm just going to stop writing the plus. The last thing you might want to do here is actually take the square root on the top, because you know what the square root of 1 is. The square root of 1 is 1. So this is actually 1 over root 10. Or if you rationalize, root 10 over root 10 will make this root 10 over 10. So this might be the answer. This might be what we're looking for. Yeah, go ahead and check it. Let me know if it's not.
It is.
By the way, say that you didn't want to do all of this again for cosine of theta over 2. How can you get cosine of theta over 2 now without using the formula? You can draw a triangle for theta over 2 instead of theta. Right, now that you have sine of theta over 2, you can draw a triangle. It'll be in the first quadrant because of this. Right, theta over 2 is way over here. You know sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So root 10 over 10. If you do the Pythagorean theorem, this will be root 90. So then cosine of theta over 2 will be adjacent over hypotenuse. So root 90 over 10, but root 90 simplifies. Do you know how root 90 simplifies? 3 root 10, right? Because you change this to 9 times 10, and then you know the square root of 9. So this will be 3 root 10 over 10.
Would you get the same answer if you picked the unrationalized answer to fill the triangle?
You'll just get probably an unrationalized cosine. So that might save you a little time if you're not good with the algebra and you're good at drawing triangles.